What is going on, everyone? It is Tuesday, March 10th, and you are watching or listening to another episode of the Boiler Breakdown podcast. As of right now, you've got me, Evan, alongside Aaron, as long as he has internet, assuming the storm in Northwest Indiana doesn't take out the whole region. And hopefully Tanner can join us here shortly. I know he had some prior commitments. But yeah, it is officially the postseason. For all college basketball after we saw Purdue last week since our last episode split with I guess you can call it a thrilling victory up in Evanston against Northwestern 70-66, and then just a disappointing home loss, and really was a home shootout against the Badgers on Saturday with a loss of 97-93. We'll be covering both of those a little bit. Obviously the big elephant in the room of what's Purdue going to do in the postseason, not only the Big Ten tournament, but the NCAA tournament and beyond. But Aaron, how you doing?
Doing good for the most part right now.
Yes.
We'll see what happens here soon.
Yeah, hopefully Tanner can hop on before your internet goes out, because I'm not sure I can do this thing solo. But yeah, obviously since our last pod, we saw the Boilers coming off the loss at Ohio State, going into a place in Northwestern where the seniors haven't won yet. Last year they didn't play up there, but the two previous years they were knocked off while being number one. And a game that Purdue actually found themselves down by 9 at halftime. We're down double digits early in the second half, and then Mr. CJ Cox kind of pulled the boys through for a 4-point victory.
Truly the only one.
Yeah,
was the only one that pulled them through, because Martelli was taking over that game. And if he doesn't step up, we lose, because they made the adjustments at halftime in regards to the defense and what they were seeing. They definitely were rattled first half. That there's no doubt about it. And it did get them off their shot, off their spot, especially in a hostile environment. That surprised to say that's a hostile environment, but it was a sold out crowd.
I think it was their first sellout all year.
Tickets were at $280 for that Welsh Ryan Arena.
I can't believe that they didn't. Maybe they did. I don't know, but I swear that they said it was the first sellout. I can't believe they wouldn't sell it for Illinois, with how many Illinois fans obviously are right there, and I'm surprised that wasn't a thing. But yeah, credit to them. It's been a kind of a house of horrors for Purdue recently. They're a tough team. They definitely took Braden out of his game. They pressured him really well, kind of forced him off the 3-point line, kind of made him,
pick up his dribble multiple times.
Yeah, they weren't able to the point where he wasn't even really at the point where he couldn't look to score. They were taking it away, which credit to them. And he was doing what he needed to do and getting others involved. It's just we just weren't hitting shots until finally CJ, goes 10 of 13, hit how many threes? He had
5 threes?
5 of 8, yeah. For 27 points, you had Lawyer go 2 of 6 from 3, 4 of 9 from the field. Trey Kaufman-Wren had 11 points, 5 of 9 from the field. Oscar added 9. Braden had 7, but 9 assists. Also had 4 turnovers. And really, you only had 6 points off the bench. You had 3 from Benter and 3 from Harris, both hit a 3. So really not much production off the bench at all. Like we mentioned, Martinelli had 28. Only other scorer in double digits for Northwestern was Reed with 16. But yeah, it was a game that kind of what we saw, kind of a theme of the season, where Purdue, got down big, kind of fought back a little bit, kept it within single digit at half, and thought, okay, the first couple minutes of the second half is going to be the key, and then kind of found themselves down double digits, and it was looking a little dicey, and thankfully they were able to pull it through. And thankfully CJ was hitting shots, because that could have got real ugly real fast.
It got real ugly. Martinelli was doing whatever he wanted on the offensive board, offensive floor on the second half, taking 19 of his 28 points were in the second half, which kudos to me, calling player of the game on him. But he was getting in the post, he was getting on the block, he was even hitting from range, and it just shows the defensive, I don't want to say the ineffectiveness and inconsistency of this team defensively when you have an inferior team being in a game like this. And they're not, I wouldn't say the worst Big Ten team, but they're a lower tier Big Ten team. And what the admirations and the whole thing for as many years as we can remember in our lifetime, defense lives here. Well, it don't this year. I mean, that it is for sure. It is an elite offensive team, but defensively, this is not good.
Yeah. And honestly, like we kind of got, and obviously it's part of the game too, but Purdue kind of got a little lucky towards the end. Northwestern just kind of missed some shots at the end. Like there was, I think I said in another one of my group chats I was in, it was like Northwestern was holding the door open for Purdue, and Purdue was just moonwalking the other way. There were so many times in that second half, and thankfully Purdue eventually took care of it. But there were so many times where like, they were down 4 or, maybe up. I mean, it was like the Purdue would be down like 4 or 2 points, and Northwestern missed like 2 or 3 shots in a row, and Purdue just could not take the lead until finally at the end they did. But yeah, it was, kudos to them for pulling it out. I mean, that's a seed saver for sure, because that definitely would have dropped you out of any contention for a 3 seed more than likely. Obviously, they're still kind of holding on to bounce between that 3 and 4 seed, depending on potentially what could happen in the Big Ten tournament. But it's set up for a big game in Mackey on Sunday, and kind of what we've seen 4 other times in losses is teams just obviously you can credit to defense too, but there's just teams who just found their way to get hot even with hands in their face sometimes, and it was just one of those where it was an absolute shootout to the point where Purdue was lost the first time ever, scoring like 90 points in a long time since like the 80s, I think.
Yeah, and I guess where I'm concerned about, and do we have any other comments on the Northwestern game? Because
no, I mean, it's nice to see that seniors got their win. So outside of the West Coast schools, they've officially won at every Big Ten arena in some capacity.
UCLA
outside UCLA, which they only played once. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah,
so you really can't count that, in my opinion. It is what it is. I think we want to go more though to Saturday, because you escape on Wednesday night. Fine, it's a midweek lower team, I wouldn't say inferior team, but a lower tier team. Good coach team though, and Chris Collins, should have a lifetime contract there, for sure.
Yeah, he should.
Where I think this is concerning was the play on Saturday, and offensively hit the shots, but defensively, and hearing in that press conference, there's nothing I feel like can be done between now and this week, following weeks. It's pretty much matchup dependent, and probably the team's ice cold that we're going against.
Yeah,
from the field.
Tanner joins us now.
Hey, fellas.
Perfect time to talk about a game you weren't able to watch on Saturday.
Not a single second. Listen to a little bit of the second half. That was it.
Yeah. To me, it felt like, in a way, a carbon copy of the Illinois game. Just a team that, just was going off from 3. And a game also, Purdue played a really good offensive game too. But it was just the kind of lack of defense, or just the defensive, struggles that we've seen time and time again. And obviously there were changes. There was a point where right at the end where Wisconsin missed a couple shots, and there was a possession where Braden kind of basically just dribbled down, took a 3, missed it. Another possession, I think, traded a push shot, missed it. Like there was, it was a 1 possession game, and Purdue wasn't able to capitalize. And then Nick Boyd, credit to him, just kind of took over and was able to get to the rim and got fouled or hits really stupid circus shots that kind of iced the game.
There's a couple of those, but he is a very good player, and he definitely played the game on that one. I will say what was more concerning, I know the bad calls didn't affect that game from the officiating crew. What affected that game was, and I don't know from what you were seeing on Saturday when you were there, it looks like guys, they're looking at the ball, and the guys, they're not paying attention to the defender, especially on dribble drive motions inside the kick out for that extra pass, or even what's around them on the block.
Yeah. What I was kind of saying, and we've seen it obviously multiple times, is where I think it all starts is just guys not keeping their man in front of them on a dribble drive, like, or to the point where it's like, obviously, there's some guys, like there's just some guys that are just going to beat you, it is what it is. That's basketball. But there's just sometimes where it just felt like they're almost conceding the dribble It's like, yeah, I'll let you drive and then force you to pass it, but then it just would get, they get guys in rotation and guys would overcommit on the help, which, is a communication issue or just like, because I've seen obviously the discourse behind, Purdue scheme and all that. And I don't think it's a scheme issue. Just it's guys just aren't executing the what they're supposed to do. Like, I don't know what you guys think, but I just feel like just from what I've seen is like, I know what they're supposed to be doing, obviously in some concept. Obviously I'm not a coach and don't have the basketball mind of a coach, but
none of us on this podcast are. So
right. Yeah. So yeah, we're Monday morning quarterback, or armchair quarterback, whatever. But it's just, I just feel like when I just see a guy almost take a step and then like the Purdue defenders kind of like turn his body, just be like, yeah, I'll let you go. It's like, what are we doing? Like cut that dribble off for a second and do something, which just comes from either pride or whatever. I don't know.
There's no contact in regards to at least trying to push the guy off. And I understand, but you're trying to move that guy off his spot. Mm-hmm. And then you're relying on the help defense below, which then Clough's looking at his guy. And I saw there's times he's on the block, then he's coming over to rotate help. It's not the pass right there. It's the hockey pass, and then it comes back around that then kills it because it's wide open shots. And that's where they were making threes between Blackwell or Boyd on Saturday. Yeah. And that's the same thing that was happening with Illinois too.
Yeah. It reminds me of a clip. I can't remember what game it was from, but it was one of the post-game videos that they do after a win. But it was like Painter talking about on offense of like, they're probably going to stop that first or second action, but make them stop the third or fourth. And that's exactly what these teams are doing to Purdue is, Purdue might be, they're stopping the first or second action, but then the longer that play goes on, you're just eventually, it's what good offenses do is they just find the breakdown. And so credit to those teams for doing that, but it's really frustrating to see a team come in and hit 18 threes, see two big men for a school combined for more threes than they did rebounds, which is what Wisconsin's big men. And they were without one of their better big men, no winner, which is frustrating.
That brings me to a point. You think about this game, you think about Illinois. Both games, they're missing starters, Illinois and Boswell, Wisconsin Winter. And right away going in the game, you're like, oh, that's going to be advantage Purdue. I think it was almost advantage Illinois and Wisconsin because it opened up other guys for threes.
Yeah, I think back to, what I think was maybe Ivy's year down in Indiana where Trace Jackson-Davis got in foul trouble. Like it was like out most of the game, and you think, oh my God, he's out of the game. Like this is match made for Purdue, and all of a sudden it opens up for guys like Rob Finney and the other guys to like that you're not planning for, to go wild. And that's it's kind of what happened with Wisconsin. I mean, I don't follow Wisconsin super closely outside of just the Big Ten in general, but like they had a guy hitting threes. I was like, I don't know who this guy is. Like he was just nailing them. There were times where with hands in his face, he was hitting them. But there obviously were some where they were wide open. But yeah, I think there is something to that of like maybe it's a mental thing of like the guys think, oh, they're without one of their better players. We beat them already, like, at their place pretty hand. Obviously, we are up huge and they came back, but we still won by double digits on the road.
They couldn't hit the broadside of the bar in that game.
Yeah. And you just wonder, is there just some mental little lapse like, oh, we're at home, they're without one of their starters or a key player, like, which you just can't do, which is frustrating. But yeah, it's just it was just wild just to, and again, it was one of those things where it got late in the game, it was still close, but like, I just didn't have the confidence. I was like, I don't think this team can get a stop. Like, I know we can score, that I'm not worried about. It's just, can we get a freaking stop when we need it? And then, like I said, the couple times we were able to get, they missed a shot and we got the rebound. We couldn't turn in the points, which was the frustrating part.
It's definitely a team built for offense. It's one of the better offensive teams, not the best offensive Purdue team I've seen in my lifetime, but fortunately defense, it might be.
Which is hilarious because like at the start of the year, a lot of people were like, because we weren't a great defensive team last year. We were at times serviceable, and it was like, hey, if we can just be, and we thought, hey, we got Clough better rebounding. Like, if we can just be serviceable, we're just going to outscore everybody, and it's not the case this year.
Nope.
Yeah.
Before I potentially lose my internet, I do want to get to the positive part about Saturday, which leads me to my blind rankings tonight.
Okay.
And that was the senior day celebration. I know the seniors didn't go out what they want. I know the senior class, depending what happens in the next 3 weeks, whatever, 4 if we can get there. Going to be remembered probably differently than probably what the expectations were coming in this season, but
or probably how they should be remembered too. In fairness,
they might be remembered as Edie's roles players,
which is unfortunate. But
yep. Anyhow, I thought about this when Braden was going through, and I was watching the ceremony like later on, and I had thoughts to myself was, who's your guys' favorite player that ever wore 3? And I thought, this is going to be a good one. So before I lose internet, I have 5 players, all from our lifetime, all from this 2000 on, that wore the number 3. And I want you to rank them on which one was your favorite. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So starting off, freshman year, PJ Thompson.
Freshman year, PJ Thompson. So is this
switched to
specific?
11?
Yeah, switched to 11.
That's right. He did.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Put him at 4.
I was going to say I'm going to put him at 4 just because he was a freshman, wasn't highly ranked coming in out of Brebeuf Jesuit High School, which is actually not too far from where I live. But yeah, obviously didn't expect him to come in and light the world on fire, but he was rock steady.
He's a pretty solid freshman.
Yeah.
Especially being underranked. All right. Next one. Carson Edwards.
2.
I think I want to put him at 1. Obviously the run helped, but I loved him even as a freshman coming off.
He's fun to watch. Fearless.
That sophomore year when he started with that 18 team. And yeah, just his ability just to go absolutely nuclear was so fun to watch. And something we really hadn't seen at Purdue. Obviously guys like Etwan Moore could score. Robbie had his chances, but just for guys to be like, the moment he crossed half court, he was in range. But yeah, it's crazy.
Well, going nuclear on our next one. Ronnie John.
5. God.
Can I put him at 15? Is that possible?
Nope. There was hype. I remember you both were excited about him.
Sure.
Recruit.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bad
Just never
fit.
panned out.
That's true.
All right. Next one. Braden.
2.
3.
Okay. I have a feeling Tanner was waiting for the mic. I agree with this one. Chris Kramer.
Yeah.
1. He's my favorite Purdue player of all time. So
yeah.
And I don't want to re-rank. I'm completely happy with my list.
I'm happy with mine. I'll put him at 3. I think fitting for that. But it was, Painter's first class. Indiana kid, tough as nails. Just we knew he was going to be a defensive stopper, and he scored pretty good in high school. But
he was the third leading scorer on that team that lost to Florida behind Landry and T.
Yeah.
He knew his role.
Yeah. He came in and totally bought into what's going to get him on the court, and we always have a conversation like, how would he fare in today's game? Just with this, yeah.
And you were bringing up earlier about Carson, and he was real homesick his freshman year. Thank goodness there wasn't NIL in the portal back then, because he'd probably been gone after his freshman year.
Yeah,
going
absolutely.
back home. But Kramer won the hearts of Purdue fans with a chest bump to DJ White. So
yeah, as a freshman, yeah. Just tough as nails. Obviously he had took the elbow to the face from Manny Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Manny Harris came back out with a mask.
His junior year, yeah.
Yeah, obviously the game-winning layup against Texas A&M in the tournament in the second round. The dunk against Illinois his freshman year when Painter got pissed off at him.
The swim against Tennessee his senior year.
Yeah. The shot from his knees his freshman year against Arizona. Yep. To put him 3 is crazy, but Braden is something else for me.
It's a heck of a number when you look at it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Chris Hartley.
Brett Busher.
I didn't want to go that way, but I wanted to kind of keep it at least relevant. That
I think
all was it.
Chad or Woody Austin. I think one of them was 3 in the 90s. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good number.
I will say this: the one things I wish this team had from Chris Kramer, that will never exist again. Is like a defensive guard that was that tenacious and that big. That's like putting Omer not scoring in those shorts.
Yeah.
I miss those shorts.
Yeah. Those are nuts.
Like at the time, they seem fine. You go back and watch, it's comical how big they
Oh
were.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you watch like Lou Jack, they're down to his
Literally
shit.
like down to his ankle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at the time it was like that's what, like, if I had shorts that even touched my knee, like above my, I was just like, get these away from, like, I cannot wear these. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like in basketball, like freshman, you get the scraps as a freshman or even JV. It was like, I get shorts, like you get kind of, you didn't have assigned shorts, at least for us in Rochester, which is, you kind of got, it was first come, first serve, and you hoped you didn't get the crappy kind because it was above my knee. It's like, I just feel naked out here, man. This is awful.
I was the smallest guy, no surprise on my freshman team. There's another guy that was small too, but so we'd get we got the two smallest shorts, and more games than not, I got a pair that it didn't have strings.
Oh no!
I had to tape them around my waist so they stayed up during the games. Yeah.
Oh man,
how hillbilly is that?
Yeah.
Number 12 with tape around his waist.
We'll say I hope it comes back. I miss him.
Good list. That was a good list.
Trends come back.
It was come back.
Yeah, I mean, going back to, senior day was, it was nice. It was cool to see a lot of people did stay. I did wonder, like, I was like, man, I hope people don't bail. I mean, I get you're pissed off. Like, I get it. Even Fletcher even said in his speech, he's like, thank you for staying. I know I wouldn't have if we had lost. Like,
kind of wish they do before the game just because of that, but more times than not, it's not a problem. So
yeah, they were all great. Obviously the loss kind of made it so it wasn't as emotional like it was like for Edie or guys like the baby boys or something like that. So that did suck. It was more emotional like during the starting lineups and when they run out of the tunnel and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was all really good. I mean, it was credit to the fans for staying. Painter even acknowledged it, and obviously, they know what's ahead of them. And I'm still a believer that I could see this team making a run, but also on the flip side, I can see them losing first weekend. They'll definitely be whatever seed they get. They'll probably be the trendiest upset pick like they were last year. But hopefully that gives them a chip on their shoulder and they can play as underdogs for the first time in a couple of years. It feels like.
Yeah, in the Big Ten tournament, it sucks to be a 7 seed. And I never in my wildest dreams I would have thought this team would be a 7 seed in the Big Ten tournament or lose 5 home games. But here we are. But I don't think they could have asked for a better path to the championship.
Yeah. Obviously, you get the winner of Penn State versus Northwestern, and then they play IU, which could set up for the first matchup since '98, the first year of it, and the rubber match for this season.
And it would be IU would probably that could be a win and end game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I think Lenardi had them as last 4 in today.
It's freaking crazy. It's such a weak bubble.
It is, especially like with a team like Stanford, who was first 4 out in his bracket, lost today, so they're
crazy tipping at the buzzer.
Yeah. Any other thing any lunch you want to talk about Wisconsin? We can just kind of talk about, Big Ten tournament kind of and beyond, or
I don't think there's really much else to talk besides, it was nice. Fletcher did get it on senior day last day in the crowd.
Very last 3, yeah.
Yep.
That was cool because Painter the whole thing is, Carson did it in 3 years, but Painter even mentioned after during the speech, he's like, Carson had more attempts still though, so he can't be too mad at it because Fletcher was able to get it in less attempts. So credit to that. One of my all-time favorites. I get people crap on him all the time, and I get it. But he was a kid that I know Tanner, you can attest that since we started, like when he kind of came on the radar, I was like, I wanted this kid at Purdue when he was up in still Michigan before he'd even transferred to Fort Wayne. Yeah, it was cool to see the 3 guys talk, and just good dudes. Obviously basketball is one thing, but it's just nice to see they're just good dudes and good representative of Purdue, and knowing that he could have easily transferred even after the freshman year, after the disaster that we saw with the 16 seed. But they chose to stick it out. Obviously, we're close to the mountaintop as you can get without being there. And even still decided to come back and run it back one last time, which is pretty cool and just obviously not common in today's college athletics.
Yeah, I think they're loved by a majority of Purdue fans, but even the ones that don't love them will learn to eventually. They'll look back very fondly on their eras. They're just frustrated right now.
Yeah,
rightfully
so.
We're all frustrated. They're frustrated. Everybody should be frustrated. This is not how the season was supposed to go, but the story's not over yet. So
no, it's not, and I think that's the big thing. It's the most favorable matchup they could have gotten for a Big Ten tournament in regards to probably improving their seeding and everything. Even Painter's press conference, is this team built for March? And it's all matchup dependent. So
we did see last year, obviously Purdue stumbled towards the end, and I mean, again, they were playing a lower seed, but that's everybody's picked for us to lose. But like the defense all of a sudden kind of ramped up and played a lot better. Like you could just tell they were more dialed in. Braden, I mean, even in that Houston game he had that game on a string. So you hope that kind of comes through again. Maybe not. I mean, I don't know about the Big Ten tournament. I mean, I still obviously I want Purdue to win it, but if Purdue makes it to Saturday, I'll be thrilled.
That's where I am. Make it Saturday. It's all the rest gravy.
Yeah. You avoid playing Michigan early on. I would like another shot at Illinois, but I'm happy to wait until play them until Sunday. Nebraska as a team, obviously we we're up 22 and took it to overtime, but still it's not a team that, they don't have the guards that can truly beat you off the dribble like a Jeremy Fears, a Boswell or Wagler can do. That gave Purdue a lot of trouble, or Boyd. And you avoid kind of a lot of those teams until you get to essentially it would be Sunday. So
and you lost to Michigan State by 2 at home, but you play a style that you can hang in there with them.
Yeah.
UCLA, I'd love another crack at that game. Still pisses me off,
especially in the Eastern Central time zone.
Yeah, they'll have 100 fans there. Like I said last time on my other podcast, if Purdue can get past Indiana or Northwestern or Penn State, then it's kind of revenge tour the whole way. The whole side of the bracket. So.
Which is sad because it just shows how many teams beat Purdue this year.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I think the Nebraska game is going to be hard to think if we can get past Thursday.
Oh, they'll be out for blood. They'll have a ton. I hope for their sake, I hope they have a ton of fans. They deserve to have a ton of fans there. Best team literally in program history. So,
well, my thing is the matchup issue with Mass, because Mass didn't play well first game around, and I think that's probably at least maybe motivated to prove a point. He's going to pull Coffin or Clough, or I don't think we can rely on Jacobson moving forward. I don't know what the issue is there.
He's a freshman. I think I've seen some people that are out on him. It's he's he didn't play last year, and he's going through that wall. He's makes mistakes, but I think he's an NBA player. I really do.
Wow.
Maybe that's big, because I mean Wednesday night when he got out rebounded by Reed and he's just standing there not boxing out, I was like,
he's not an NBA player right now. I think he will be. Yeah, I think he's got the tools, and he's give him a full off season with Brantley, and I like it.
We can hope. That's best.
Yeah,
that's the greatest.
I think he's got potential. Potential. It's just got to get it out of him.
Yeah, I was hoping he would take a step forward physically. I mean, you break your ankle, but then you have all that time still.
Supposedly gained 30 pounds, but it just doesn't look like it.
It's his first time going through Big Ten physicality. Obviously, he didn't see it last year, so he kind of knows. I mean, obviously he was ranked a lot higher than this kid, but Zach Edey wasn't exactly.
Yeah, no.
Zach Edey is freshman year.
It's easy for me to say at 5'9", but I wish he wasn't so timid. Especially on random on defense, just go up aggressive and more so than rebounding. Just try to block that dang shot. So.
Yeah, and in his defense, he does seem to get absolutely obliterated down there. It doesn't get called more often than not, which is wild. But obviously that comes with the territory sometimes.
He doesn't have the same mentality that Matt Harms did in that same kind of body type. I mean, Matt Harms was wanting to go up and challenge and wanted the competition. I think he shies away from it at times, and I hope that consistency pays forward in regards to making that, a consistent effort, especially if he's got to start a starting role, because if he does, I mean, he's definitely going to need to be relied on if he wants to come back next year. If not, I mean, we're probably looking at Riley Purchase down low. But it's he's got to be a big part if this team wants to go to a Final Four. There's no doubt about it. He's got to have an impact in regards to coming off the bench, spelling fluff, giving the defensive threat down low in the post, and having that presence, and also getting offensive rebounds. And he just does not show it anymore. And it's unfortunate, but we'll see how this play pans out. Guys, there's a tornado on the ground. So
yeah.
I'll make this quick. How far do you think we get?
I got us going to Saturday and losing to Michigan State.
Okay.
I was doing this earlier on my drive home today. I have us going to Sunday.
I hope you're right.
Whoa.
I could see it, but
yeah.
I could also see us losing Thursday. So.
Nothing about this team would surprise me. Like if we lose, I could see us getting blitzed, on Thursday. God forbid.
By either IU or Northwestern.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's the thing.
I don't want to play Northwestern. I really play IU versus Northwestern.
And then I could see this, them turning on and just kind of going up against. And I think I would fall to Michigan. I think Michigan, because you always wonder, like, especially a team that dominates like Michigan, which losing one whole game the whole Big Ten season, which is just so impressive. Like, you kind of wonder where their psyche's at, like, because they're a 1 seed no matter what happens. And especially in the Midwest, because there's no other 1 seed is really. I mean, you got obviously Arizona's going to be out west, Duke's going to be out east. So you just have the South, which if Florida gets that, they're going to take that. And then obviously the Midwest, which would be Michigan. I think if I could see them maybe like if they're going to lose, they're going to lose like before Saturday. But if they get to Sunday, I think they're winning. But at that point, they'll just be like, "We're here, let's win the damn thing!" Like, and they're just so good. But I think if Michigan is going to lose, they're going to lose like prior to Sunday, I should say. But I think we'll play against Michigan, and it'll be another good game. But I think Michigan will.
It wouldn't surprise me for Ohio State to give them a heck of a game.
Yeah, or even Illinois too. Like, I mean, Illinois will have you'd think Illinois will have the fan base, but Michigan travels really well. So, but
I think this team's getting bounced on Friday night.
It's Nebraska.
Yep.
Hey, Lynch was right last week. He had us win a close one against Northwestern and losing against Wisconsin. So.
There is something to be said though about
both player games too.
Those
I called Purdue's. I said CJ Cox against Northwestern. So
there is something about the top 4 seeds on Friday coming out a little sluggish against those teams that played Thursday night.
Right.
So that could be something.
Didn't have us last year against Michigan, but
no, it didn't.
No, but I think Nebraska's gonna be motivated.
Yeah.
So
we should be too, though.
I've thought that all February.
I know.
And
at least we got away from Mackey Arena now. Never thought I'd say that, but
right. Ending the season 6 and 7. That's ugh.
I know it's not good. It's really bad.
We'll see. I think the last thing before I hop off here, I'm delaying the inevitable. Didn't realize this is going to be bad, is what it is.
Yeah, I think everybody got hit by some storms.
And they're talking 3.5. This is producing 3.5 inch hail.
Oh my God!
I have Chicago news pulled up here. Thoughts on Kaufman Wren being left out on any of the Big Ten honors?
He had a slow start to the year, even in Big Ten play, and then he got hot. I was just happy he was honorable mention. I was a little annoyed that Fletcher wasn't honorable mention, but I get it. But
I get it.
I mean, on my other podcast, I had Trey as the Big Ten preseason player of the year, so I was off the mark a little bit there. So, yeah,
it was a bummer. I thought, guys like Boyd had a case for first team because he really came on late. Yeah, I mean, there's
don't do 10 like the Big 12.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys had a lot of case to be first team. I think they got it right. It was just so tough.
I think they did. I think First team was no surprise. I was a little surprised by Hoiberg.
I think he should have won it outright. I mean, Michigan was obviously deserves it, but I mean, they were still projected to be really good. I mean, if it wasn't Purdue,
lost 2 games.
Yeah, they're impressive.
That
helps when you have the roster set in March.
They got theirs for next year set already. They're working back channels.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens.
Hey, it's a big conference week. It's a big weekend. A lot of meetings this weekend.
Yeah.
Happening.
Maybe they're talking to NBA players too. That would be great. That would be awesome. Someone that's a lottery pick just comes back and joins that team.
What's his name? Plays for Detroit. Played at Michigan. He doesn't play anymore for Detroit because he played for Miami. Shooter
Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, he's not playing. He might as well. He probably has an extra year somewhere. He's not playing for Detroit right now.
I was going to say, does Trey Burke come back at 30 and play?
What's Mitch McGarry doing these days?
I saw him. That was about a decade ago. I saw him in Savannah, Georgia, out of nowhere. It was weird. It was weird. It was the most random thing ever.
All right, I'm peacing out for this one.
All right,
See ya. You want to pick some Big Ten tournament games?
Sure, why not?
All right. With as of right now, it's 7:50 left in the first half. Northwestern's up 23-21 over Penn State.
Northwestern.
Tomorrow.
Who are you taking?
Oh, sorry, Northwestern. Sorry.
Yep.
Maryland. Oh, come on, app. What is this thing doing? All right, at noon Eastern, Maryland, who just beat Oregon tonight, plays Iowa.
I like Iowa in that one.
I do too. Maryland playing some spirited basketball.
Yeah,
hung with Illinois, but yeah. West Coast rivalry: USC versus Washington at 2:30.
Washington.
I'm with Washington there. The winner, which we
USC
both have Northwestern.
practiced at Barstool, Chicago.
I saw that. I was just like, how unserious are we? How unserious are we? We both have Northwestern, so they would play Indiana at 6:30.
I got Indiana a close one.
I think so too. Yeah, they'll obviously want payback for losing at home to Northwestern.
Well, and they're fighting for a lot. I mean, lose that one, you're not getting in. So.
Yeah. If they lose, they're done. And then wrapping up tomorrow night, Rutgers versus Minnesota.
I like Minnesota.
I do too. So then Thursday, that would be Ohio, or we both have Iowa. Yeah, Iowa, Ohio State.
I like the Buckeyes. They're playing well all of a sudden.
I do too. Then you'd have what we both had, Washington versus Wisconsin. Is that right?
Yeah, give me the Badgers. Yeah.
Yep. We both have Indiana, Purdue. For the love of God.
Give me Purdue. Nothing would surprise me. I just can't stomach thinking IU goes 2-1 in the basketball series and wins the national championship in football.
In a year they're not even good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think the seniors would be motivated to get that winning record against them?
Yeah. Well, and I like the matchup against them, but they can get hot from three, and our defense lets people do that. So.
Yep. And then Minnesota versus UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA. Dent's playing unbelievable basketball lately.
Yeah, give me UCLA. I'm trying to do this all off memory. So that would be Ohio State versus Michigan.
Yep. Michigan, a close one. These two, when they battle in the Big Ten tournaments, they're usually really good games.
Yeah. Yeah, give me Michigan. I think it could be one of those games where first game of the day, Ohio State's played a game already. They could, come out maybe get up by 10, and then maybe even have a lead at halftime. And Michigan kind of wakes up in the second half and takes.
I always go back to 2010 when it was I don't remember if Michigan was the 8 or 9 seed playing 1 seed Ohio State, and Evan Turner had a half quarter to win.
Yep.
Or they were out. So.
Yep. Then Wisconsin versus Illinois.
I like Illinois in this one.
I do too, just because they lost at home, so they'll want that revenge without who they didn't have.
They were out without Boswell and one of the Europeans. I don't know.
Lil Peja.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Illinois, but I think that would be a close one. Again, I think Wisconsin's again one of those teams where I can see them making the Elite Eight. I can see them losing the first round. If they're not hitting from 3, then they're done.
Absolutely.
Then Purdue versus Nebraska.
I like Purdue. I know Lynch and Nebraska. I like that matchup for Purdue.
Yeah, give Purdue another close one. And then finally, UCLA versus Michigan State.
Wouldn't surprise me. See UCLA win that game. I honestly think they have more raw talent, maybe, at least at the certain positions. But I think Michigan State wins a tight one.
Yeah. We both have Michigan versus Illinois.
Michigan.
Yeah, I was going to pick Illinois, but I realized I picked Michigan earlier. But yeah, give me Michigan. I think whoever wins that game wins the tournament.
Probably.
Easy to say in top 4 teams. Then Purdue versus Michigan State.
I hope I'm wrong, but I'm taking Michigan State.
And then so obviously you have Michigan versus. I haven't picked Purdue in that one. You have Michigan versus Michigan State, which that'd be a hell of a game for the Big Ten championship.
I have Michigan going 3-0 against them.
Yeah, and I've got Michigan beating Purdue. Hopefully, not getting blown out.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I was thinking today. Well, at least we have 2 more podcasts after this, no matter what. We have one going into the March Madness, and then hopefully it's more after that. But then we have a recap. But hopefully we have a couple more after this.
Yeah, recap of the first weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we're talking about going to Sweet 16.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been obviously very frustrating from so many.
Yeah, I never would imagine the season was going to go like this. But
yeah,
it's basketball, I guess.
Yeah, and it is a very privileged to be disappointed with the team that technically tied for 4th. Like obviously with the 7 seeks of tiebreakers, but we did tie for 4th. And looking at a potential 4th seed in the NCAA tournament as a massive disappointment.
I was going to pose this question to both of you, and wait, is this serious? Sorry, I just had a text come across. Breaking news: Ravens back out of Max Crosby trade.
Wait, what?
I had a text that said,
"Yep."
Oh my God!
Come on, Bears!
Get him out of Vegas, especially with all the. Hey, maybe they can't sign all those free agents now that they were signing yesterday because maybe they won't have so much money. I wanted to get them out of the West. That was a rabbit hole I didn't expect. Yeah, give them to the NFC. Let the Bears have them. Get them out of the AFC completely. I wanted to pose this question to you and Lynch, but Lynch logged off for good reasons. How many years, if you had to guess right now on March 10th, 2026, how many years left is Matt Painter the head coach of Purdue?
How old is he right now?
Good question. He is 55. Will be 56 in August.
Man, it's still pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
My gut, when you asked me that, and I'll just go with that. That's what my gut said, and also kind of stirs a discussion. Probably my gut says 5.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I hope 10, but I think 10. It's closer to 5 than 10.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what would push him if it's, would it take a mass exodus of guys after even a good year? Like, if God forbid, we lose, if a bunch of guys from this year's team decide just to leave, would that kind of have him rethinking some things? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's obviously very super competitive, and I still think he wants to get to, now that he's been there, I think he wants that title even more, knows he can do it and that his way can get him there. Obviously it takes a lot to go your way, but he's been there once, he can do it again. I firmly believe that. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed that these things get a little reined in a little bit when it comes to NIL and transfer portal. Hopefully that it just seems like it should. Cause I know Brian, you're talking about the guys who played right now, especially the senior class, you'd think they're going to make the most money out of anybody ever will, just because of just the lawless land that we've had the last 4 years. But you hope that there's something that gets resolved from this. Not saying we obviously can't go back to what we were. I don't think we should go back to the way it was guys should get paid.
But
definitely it's not one of these things where it's like,
pay for play. It's not
pay for play. Guys playing 6-7. The joke writes itself. 6-7 years. G League guys come. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. It's like
what are we
gotta
doing?
draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. And obviously you can only do so much about tampering, but it's like you hear these stories like it's just how open is it, like, Michigan having guys locked up before the season ended last year, which obviously, it happens everywhere. It's just Michigan's kind of the scapegoat for it because they were just so aggressive about it. Obviously we have a personal take on it with them being the Big Ten and also going after Braden as hard as they did.
Right.
But you just hope that there's some putting in maybe another transfer rule. It's like, hey, you can transfer once and then you have to sit out a year after that, or unless your coach leaves, gets fired, whatever. Yeah. But this whole just free agency, it's entertaining in the offseason, assuming Purdue's not really involved in it, then it makes it really fun because I'm just like watching the chaos from afar. But when Purdue's involved in like they are with football, which that's just another, it's hard to keep track of that one because there's just so many guys.
Yeah. And at least this year didn't kill them as bad as the year before.
Yeah. But
in football, at least they've put the thing on now that your team coming out of spring. I like that.
And I like that they changed the portal now to where it's like it's not until after the tournament or close to the end, to where it's like
should be after
last
the
year.
whole damn thing. But
right, last year it was like after the first weekend.
Yeah,
like, hold on, what are we doing? So hopefully that gets rained. But and going back to your question, I don't know what's gonna it's just he's just done. Maybe he feels it's time to step aside. I don't know, but. I hope it's not for a long time.
All right, so you're guessing 5 seasons starting next year, 5 more.
Yeah.
Does he get to any more Final Fours? If so, how many? It's a tough question.
In 5 years. In 5 years.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's like 5 years. Oh my God!
Pressure's on.
I'd
like to think he gets to at least one more.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but it's tough to do. But
I think assuming people stay. I think that best shot would be in like 2 years.
Because I was thinking yesterday,
senior Jakari, junior Daniel. If Meyer's back, I don't know. Sophomore Luke Girdle, sophomore Jacob Weber, sophomore Sinan Juan, assuming he doesn't redshirt. Like junior Raleigh Bird, just like sophomore CJ or Antoine West. Like good God, that could be an awesome team. We also said that 2 years ago.
Did you mention Jack Benter?
I didn't mention Jack Benter, Jumping Jack Flash. Good God. It's just like you think about it, you're like, oh my God. Like,
I know.
Not be so good. And we also thought that last year, like, man, can you
exactly.
When I know we're losing Edie, but can you imagine when Braden, Fletch, and
I know when they're seniors, that's the year. Yeah. And I guess that's the thing. I was thinking yesterday, would I be satisfied paying it at the end when he calls it quits if he only got the one Final Four? And granted, he got the championship because he had so many other good teams that didn't get there. And I'm like, I would be satisfied, but yet I'd feel like there was so much left on the table.
I think I would, and depending on what obviously happens in those 5 years. I think I would, just because it got to a point. I feel like for a lot of my life until the Virginia game, where I was just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to see Purdue in a Final Four. It's just why can't it happen to us? Because we're always, we play well, but then we get the 4 seed and have to go against freaking UConn or Duke or somebody.
Yeah, right.
Kansas and Kansas City, you just get absolutely.
The bracket would never break our way.
Yeah. And then we were, a 3 seed and an eyelash away from going, and it was like, holy crap! That was a team that started what 6-5, and everyone was writing off.
Selfish as ever.
Yeah, it was just like, the team that wasn't supposed to do it almost did it. And it was okay. Obviously it was just the whole, obviously Robbie's knee and all that. But it was just like, if the fact that we got there, then we got to witness it. At least the Elite Eight game, something I never thought I'd see.
Right.
Let alone play for a national championship.
Right.
So I think I would, but I'd obviously be very disappointed. But I think I'd still at the end I'd be like, okay, we've seen it. Maybe that can springboard us into something else. I don't know.
Right. I don't know. My mind was going weird spots yesterday, just thinking of things for the podcast. So
yeah.
Yep. So, all right. You want to pay some bills?
Let's do it.
All right. And our first sponsor, who's been sponsor for the last couple of years of the Boiler Breakdown podcast, is Mad Mushroom. Boiler Breakdowns are brought to you by Mad Mushroom, who's been serving Boilermakers since 1993. They are located in the heart of West Lafayette, and they're well known as the home of the original cheese sticks. Whenever any of us visit, we like to sit down and have an ice cold beer by trying out their latest pizza of the month, which for the month of March is Rob's Crispy Bourbon Chicken. That's pizza topped with chopped crispy chicken, tossed in bourbon sauce, onions, celery, mozzarella cheese, and finished with toasted sesame seeds. And I believe that's a large for $14, if I'm not mistaken. So any Boiler Breakdown listener or viewer can use the coupon code BREAK526. That's all caps, BREAK 526 online at madmushroom.com to get $5 off any order over $20. Mad Mushroom, feed your head. Great spot to watch the Big Ten tournament and March Madness.
Yes, sir.
And Webby, like always, has good looking merch on. He's got the Script shirt. I'm guessing you got that from the shop.
I did. Feels good. Fits good. They've I think a Hometown Apparel since 2011. Started out in their garage, and they've got 3 retail locations across Indianapolis. While the Big Ten tournament's not in town this year, if you find yourself in Indianapolis, especially it's getting close to the month of May. Year. I think so. I thought or is it in Vegas next year?
Oh, I'll look it up.
Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, if you're in Indy, stop on by. They've always got great stuff, great selection of all things Indiana, whether it's universities, pop culture, blue and gold, Indianapolis football, as they call it. Even if you have an Ohio State fan in your life, they've got stuff for that too. But if you're shopping online, get a jump on early Christmas 2026 shopping. Go to the shopindy.com, use promo code breakdown for free shipping. They actually just came out with 2 new Purdue designs, heavyweight tees. I meant to wear that one time, I didn't. So they have 2 new designs drop for the postseason. Check them out. The shopindy.com, promo code breakdown.
The Big Ten tournament is in Indianapolis next year, Vegas in 2028.
Okay. I knew it was either Vegas next year or Indy next year, or if it was Indy.
So dumb. That's so dumb. We don't even have a team out there. What in the world?
I mean, at the same time, also that could be fun if you could make it like a weekend trip.
Yeah, New York was fun.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll ever do that again.
Yeah, but also just when I had a coworker ask me like, "Oh, you going to the Big Ten tournament if Purdue makes it to the weekend?" I'm like, "No, I don't really like." Yeah. I've seen us win it a couple times. Yeah. It's cool. Unless Purdue needs to win, I'm just don't get hurt and win a game or 2. That's all I can really ask for.
I think the first Big Ten tournament I went to was Indianapolis one in high school, and it was a Friday, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever because I'd never been to one. So you go there and you watch all the games and different fans.
Especially Friday, the Friday. The Fridays always because you have the 4 best teams.
Yeah.
My first one, I remember going to Chicago, and it was Illinois, Wisconsin. Because I remember seeing Devin Harris. I can't remember who won that one, if it was Wisconsin or Illinois, but it was a championship game. I don't remember which year that was, but it was fun. And then I was there in 2009 when Purdue won it.
Didn't you go in 2007 when we lost Ohio State?
I did because we had through connections we had really good seats.
That was semifinal game because we had to beat Iowa the day before.
Had to beat Iowa. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah,
we did.
Because that was when I was second row. This was people who knew people seats we somehow got. And Greg go to the free throw line and I yelled, and that was after he had broken his hand. He was back to shooting right-handed and he missed the first one. I said, "You're better left-handed," and he made the next one. So
he wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I didn't go to that one. I was there in 2009. I went in 2016 to was it the championship game we played Michigan State?
Yeah, I was at that one.
I was at that one.
Missed the 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been fortunate I've been to quite a few. I've been a couple years though, but it's always like I said, Friday's the best day. I went in 2022 when we lost to Iowa in championship game. Went to that one. That one sucked.
I don't know the last one I've been to. It might have been 2016. I don't think I. Oh no, 2018, New York. That was the last one I've been to.
Yeah,
I haven't been to one.
I think 2022 was the last one I've been to. I couldn't go in 23 because our good buddy was getting married that day. I didn't go last year. Yeah. So
last year was in Minneapolis. No, 2 years ago was in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Yep. So. All right, Webby, let's boiler up, hammer down. I can't go through all the nicknames because there's so many possible scenarios, but let's bring something home to show for the season.
Let's do it. Boiler up.